Hi, my name is Heather Feather. I'm the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today I want to talk about The Observer. You can subscribe to my channel on YouTube by looking for Rare Bird Medicine. All videos will be uploaded there first. So if you want the latest and the greatest, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about The Observer. So I'm literally talking about stepping back a little bit. It makes me think of like that record scratch that a DJ does that's just where they just kind of pull it back a little and then let the sound spin. It's kind of that thing where you step back a little from the story you're mired in. So there are stories that we tell. There are words that come out of your face hole, is the way I'd say that. Because I love to be silly. But there are words that come out of your face hole all the time. And you tell a story and you tell others what life is, what your value system is, how you've chosen to label it all. Life is this, it's that, it's blah, blah. Here's my hot sports opinion. And so we tell and we weave a web, you know. In Lakota tradition, there's a trickster spider named Iktomi that weaves the web of life. And Iktomi is tricky, you know, kind of like raven, coyote, crow are trickster animals. They're highly intelligent, but tricky because they'll have you check in on your ego. And so I know that's been a lot of my learning in this life, to praise content over form again and again and again. And that's why I get to hold raven, coyote, and crow medicine, and Iktomi, a beloved friend as well. But what I kind of see the more I connect with Iktomi is we are all weaving a web. We're weaving the web of our life. We're weaving the blanket of our life. We're choosing the threads. We're placing it all together. And what's tricky about your spidery self, your eight-legged self, is that as you weave this web, it's easy to just think that the web is something that's just happening around you, that flies are getting caught in, but you actually are making it the entire paradigm. And so it's comfortable for the ego often. What it denies, it will project. It wants to extend out and not hold and take responsibility for its own. But when you step into the position of the observer, of the creator, of the storyteller, of the web weaver, when you step into that empowered place of like, I'm actually the one that's making this story and deciding whether it's misery or grace, then you can slow down a little bit and go, wait a minute, how am I going to walk in this world? Am I going to walk as a doer? Now, I can tell you Heather Feather has been walking as a doer for a long time. She's been a tremendous people pleaser. Thought she was punk rock party, but just tremendous people pleaser, tremendous attachment to what others thought of her. Yes, I can speak in third person. Like, we have so many rules about speaking in this realm. Hello, what are we doing? But yeah, it's like, historically, that woman is a different entity. She's a whole different ball game, a whole different ball of wax, because there was a lot more attachment to like what you thought about the story I tell it to you, and what you thought about, you know, blah, 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 and how do you feel about it? And now it's like, not everyone's going to like my story. Feel free to move along if you don't. I don't, you know, like what are we doing here? What I do know is that being the doer, being the people pleaser, being the one that has been historically caught up in this concept of being the character rather than the narrator and author. We're the director. We're all of it. We're the whole ball of wax, you know? But we often forget our role as narrator or director or author, and we get so mired in the role of the character, of the main star, of the star player in the movie of our lives, that we become the doer instead of the seer. So we stop really seeing our vantage point of way back here and like, oh, I have this vantage point of, I'm observing a reality that's unfolding before me, and I'm the author of it. And rather than getting wrapped up in the storyline, let me see if I'm really authoring what it is I want here. What is it I want to observe? Really? Do I need to shake it up a little? Maybe. Am I having a pleasant time? Well, let's see, what kind of story am I telling? What are the dimes? What are my tens that I'm passing out in these lands that are becoming the web I'm going to walk on? So part of being the observer is that record scratch back, that just going back just a little, a little bit, where you step back from your life a little bit and step back from being the character in the story that's having this awful thing or this wonderful thing happen to them, and just being a neutral observer. Oh, look, that character, Heather Mackey, the star of that particular multiverse or that particular paradigm or that particular mind space, it seems to be having a difficult time. Interesting. What a notice. So is it possible to step out of your life a little bit and be in a state of observation as if your life is a book that you're simply reading? You know, we can easily do that with a stranger. Somebody that's a stranger gets you involved in their story, and you're happy to, I don't know, if you're kind enough as a person to share, engage, connect, be involved in the story, but you don't feel a lot of attachment to the storyline because you're not invested in the character, but you're super invested in your character. So there's a lot of attachment, a lot of desires, a lot of wanted, not wanted, wanted, not wanted, wanted, not wanted, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Now you're playing ping pong in your mind. So instead of that, can we step into this observer role of, let's assume that the main character, Heather Feather, and her kooky bird self, is receiving everything she ever needs to receive in this life for her soul growth and development, would be one way to say it. To remove her blocks to the awareness of love's presence would be another way to say it. To aid her eternal self in growth and proliferation. There are a lot of different ways to say that, but can we, instead of just rolling forward from a fundamental assumption of like, I'm a two-legged stuck in this story that I'm a victim to and there's nothing I can do, and just, stuff keeps happening, let's all talk about all the awful stuff, which is an option. It's a popular one down here. But can we stop, step back up a little, rewind a little bit in time, and question ourselves? Wait a minute, am I walking forward through my life like good, bad, want, don't want, good, bad, want, don't want, good, bad, want, don't want? Well, that is polarity. That is a dichotomy. That is dualistic nature, dualism, and that is what this realm is. But let's consider backing up a little, and instead of launching forth from duality, want, don't want, like that experience, don't like that one, like that one, don't like that one, don't like that one, like that one, don't like that one, let's judge this, don't judge that, do judge this, don't judge that. Let's back up a little bit and start from a place of singularity. Let's start from a place of singularity and a place of unification. And instead of being attached to the way the web will weave, instead of being attached to the characters, graces and tragedies, instead of that, can we step back like somebody reading a book almost and just observe ourselves and observe our lives and go, this character, Heather, she has a tendency to have a time conversation, even though she talks about time as an illusion. She can get real wrapped up into like, time is real and I have to hurry. That's a funny notice. Maybe I need to make some adjustments with the character. So I'm not going to vilify her. I'm not going to judge her. I'm not going to make her bad for however she's been weaving the web, however she's been telling her story. I am going to remember that I'm the director. I am going to remember that I'm the author. And I'm going to step back a little, rewind a little, and start from a place of singularity. Let me start from a fundamental assumption instead that life has what I want and don't want, that life only offers what I want. All of it adds to my soul growth and evolution. All of it adds to my development. All of it aids me to remove my blocks to the awareness of love's presence. All of it are gifts for me to drop judgment as the toxic poison it has always been. All of it are opportunities for me to choose bridge building versus wall building, to choose who I'm going to be in relationship to me and other. And that is a unified field. So let me start from unification and assume that the characters in the story are living exactly the story they need to live, exactly what serves each one of them. And let me, as the observer, consider what serves, what doesn't serve. Let me just objectively, almost scientifically, almost cold, airy, just like a cold wind, consider the facts within and without of what is working, what is on track, what serves in the life, and what is causing more strife. Where do we need to change? Where do we need to grow? Where do we need to expand? And can we look at that and come to know it and come to be with it and come to understand it without a bunch of judgment and recrimination around it. The quality and the gift of being the observer is there's non-attachment. If you're observing a book or observing a movie, you don't go, quick, save the characters. You let them deal with their dramas, deal with their storylines. There may have been some movies, some books that you've read that you wanted to rewrite the plot line. And my invitation today is to rewrite your plot line. Is there anything you're doing that's not working? Like, I'm just so lazy. Well, we're being infiltrated with more light in the modern age, and it's a lot to take in, and it does make you tired. Maybe practice a daily meditation on assimilating light, because we're evolving with a greater rapidity as we move forward in time because of necessity, because we might destroy our Earth. Of course, another will be born. We'll have another birth because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. But before we destroy and blow up our Earth and our lives, let's slow down and consider, maybe I should, you know what, I don't want to shop as much. I want to only buy reduced, reused, recycled, because we've already had all the products in the universe made, and I don't want to contribute to more being made. So I'm going to start moving towards more reduced, reused, recycled. I'm going to practice giving more of my things away to charity and clearing out and living on less. I'm going to practice living on less, loving my Earth, not feeling like I have to live in a mess because I've gathered too many objects because I'm so blessed and rich. Or, prosperity or money is often something that two-leggeds think they need more of, but they're not even looking. Like, just spin around your house. Do you know how many objects are in my house and how long it would take to count them? And aside from the objects, aside from the form, the content of what's in this vessel, baby. And the fact that I have two legs, the fact that I have two arms, the fact that I got all these fingers, the fact that my toes keep me balanced, the fact that I can smell my food and therefore taste it, the fact that I can see, the fact that I can hear. My blessings are so rich, they stack up like books in a library. They're just stacking up, page on page on page. So many blessings. But we can often crave and desire and want more. Let me get some more. I want some more. And then it's like, well, hold on. Do you know how rich you already are? Do you know how blessed you already are? Do you like the star of your story? Are you being kind to that star player? Are you being, are you making excuses? Like, it's hard and I'm tired. I do that. Trust, life has been hard for me and I'm real tired. But that tired old tale isn't serving me to be an energized female that is ready to be a warrior woman to crack open this day and get it going, I've got to push past the limiting, small, tiny tale my mouth might want to weave to cause me to crawl around on a web that feels like it's covered in dirty leaves. Let's get a fantastic web built here. Let's get it popping. Let's get it working. Let's make it happen. Let's invigorate our lives as if we are powerful, as if each individual has the power of a narrator, of an author, of a storyteller, of a web weaver, as if you are the 100% responsible entity for the creation called your life. You're making the choices. You're choosing joy or strife. You're choosing the perspective. You're choosing the focus. You're the one placing the most precious of all commodities, your sacred attention on whatever story you're telling. Is it working? If not, judgment isn't going to fix it. Don't judge yourself. Like, okay, that's interesting. I've been telling some very negative stories. Baby, we've all been there. Be gentle with you. You're talking about putting yourself in the throne room and honoring who you are as the star player and who you are as the narrator of the tale. Invocation and invitation is to just step into that observer role, bring it back a little bit, make sure that the tunes are playing the rhythm you want. If not, bring it back. Start over. Start from that unified mind. Start from that empowered place and time. And become an activator of what it is you actually want to see. Because all golden gifts live within thee. Go to rarebirdmedicine.com. Click on the classes link. We have upcoming classes. We'll have classes on shamanism, astrology, other things coming up. So stay tuned and blessed be.